welcome back to another Lord Duckman production. Ah yes, this 1967 bus that I cut up with deck lid Don a few weeks ago. I have found that nothing will polarize my YouTube audience more than when I bring home yet another rusty shit box. For every person that screams that I shouldn't be cutting up yet another classic, there's always at least one person that tells me it's too far gone, and I shouldn't be wasting my time with it anyway. Yeah, so thanks for the encouragement, guys. That was sarcasm for those of you that don't understand it, but in a roundabout way, the outlandish remarks of those that don't listen or understand and have no idea what is actually going on here further motivate me to demonstrate and build something good. And I must be doing something right, because over 85,000 subscribers are here for a reason, maybe even two reasons. And I know why I'm here, it's for the same reasons as you. But I digress. We're back again with this 1967 bus frame, and after I towed it home last week, after many a mishap, it arrived home safely. And here it is in my driveway, looking mighty hopeless. It was straight when Don and I cut it up, but the straps that I tied down all the loose parts to the frame with really fucked that monkey. But now, I have to not only repair the rust, but I also have to spend time straightening it out. This thing is a mess, but it's nothing that the Duckman can't accomplish, and it's what you're going to be seeing today. This video will be much more cerebral than some of my other ones, with a lot of measuring and squaring and a lot of explanation as to what I'm doing. So it may seem a little slow moving, but it's all very important stuff for people that may want to learn something. So please bear with me. So please licky, likey, comment, and subscribe, and finger that like button. And while you're down there, don't forget to pluck that dingle belly so you get updates every time I upload a video. And we'll be back right after that intro. Alright, my 1967 rusted out donor bus frame. Yes, this thing is a mess, particularly right up through here. This is where the frame camel humped itself. It actually came upwards when I was towing it home with the 350Z. Too much power, that's what it was, just too much power. Anyway, the axle beam would lean forwards, this would go straight up in the air, and it's caused some bending and warping, and just things are fatigued. There's a crack in the frame over here. The whole frame bowed inwards, and it's supposed to bow inwards a little bit because right about at that crack, well, actually not at the crack, right here, this is where the frame's supposed to start going straight. Clearly it doesn't. It's all kinds of, yeah, it's a mess. This is probably the worst spot on the frame itself, right under here. That just completely caved, and just, yeah, this whole section in here needs to just be cut away. This side, as you can see, isn't nearly as bad as the opposite side. Nonetheless, we're still going to cut that out also and fix it. But in order to do all that, see it cracked here also, I need to square the frame back up, and that's really going to be a big thing, because if you look down this way, you can see the whole frame is it's straight in the back, and then the front's twisted. One of the reasons is because it's got a flat tire. The other reason is because there's no rigidity in it anymore. So I guess we'll stick a couple of jack stands under the beam, get the thing squared up, start taking some measurements, and start figuring out what's got to come out, and what needs to be replaced, and how we're going to fix some of this stuff. And it looks like part of the problem we've got here is because Decklid Don cut my frame. When he was taking the cross supports out for the floor, he cut into the frame, and needless to say, the frame wrinkled right in that spot. So I'm gonna have to straighten that out, flatten that, and then fill that cut back in with some weld. I know a lot of you are thinking, this is totally a big piece of junk, Duckman. It's a big piece of garbage. Well, the way I see it is it's probably about a day's worth of work, and I'm talking from like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., one day of work. But the trouble is, I do other things during the day also, not just this stuff. So when it comes to working on these things, well, I don't think I'll be able to devote an entire day to it. And what happens is it always gets dark this time of year, so I run out of time. But we're gonna put in a good attempt to try to at least get the bottoms here, because this is the part that's weakest right now. That's the part that's causing everything to go all wonky. So I'll get that straightened out. And for those of you that are wondering why I have so many damn cuts on my hands, this is actually from chickens. It has nothing to do with metalwork or any of that stuff. Yeah, ironically, it's not metalwork at all. Except for this one right here that's running diagonally. That one was from my tow bar. So that's something that I had to handle. And then there's one cut here, that one, That one actually came off this frame when I was working with Don. Otherwise, no, I didn't get any other cuts from working on this project yet. It's not to say that I'm not going to get sliced up in the future, but yeah, as of this time, I'm not been cut by this thing here in its current state. So anyway, we'll get this thing squared up. I'm doing too much talking. I need to do some chopping. That's right. That's what the Duckman is known for chopping shit up. Good news is back end needs virtually no repair. I'm going to fill a little weld in there just because I don't need that to continue cracking. There is one little hole over here, which chances are is probably the size of a $50. As I start poking at it, it's going to get a lot bigger than what it is. You know, I guess there's one over there too. That needs to be fixed also. The rest of the rear part of the frame here just needs to be degreased. It is a swing axle suspension in the rear. If I'm going to be building anything with this, I don't run swing axle on anything. I don't like the way it feels. I don't like the way it drives. It just doesn't feel safe to me. And that's one of the reasons why Volkswagen upgraded it. But this will get an IRS conversion also. And I'm sure somebody's saying, Duckman, you're ruining that frame. It's already ruined. Look at it. It's already ruined. So this is definitely going to polarize my viewers. They're going to have people telling me that I'm nuts for restoring a piece of junk, and then there's other people that are telling me that I'm going to be destroying something, you know, that's vintage. There's going to be nobody in the middle road. Everybody's going to align themselves one way or the other. Well, I tell you what, stay tuned with me, because we're going to build a really cool project with this. I don't know what yet. It's going to be something. I'm still working out some plans, still working out some details, trying to find some other equipment. But meanwhile, let's get this thing fixed, cleaned, and let's get a coat of paint on it, so that way I can put it into some kind of storage until I get the rest of the parts I need to finish this thing up. But anyway, yep, that's where we're at. Alright, let's attack this thing. I haven't even done any cutting and welding yet, and it already looks like it's straightened itself out quite a bit, just by getting the front end level. Alright, here we go. Alright, got a couple pieces of angle iron here. This actually used to be a piece of square tube. I cut it open, and it's much thicker than the metal that's already on the frame. So we're going to see if we can apply some of this, and I think I'm going to end up with a lot left over, believe it or not. As bad as that rust is, we're not going to use all of this. So anyway, let's lay it out and see what we got. Just a little bit of twisting this and that, and that's a hell of an improvement already. That side's pretty close. This side still needs quite a bit more work. Right there in the middle where that crack is, right there, that needs to be pushed out. But we're looking better. Jeez, that only took a minute. I discovered some 2x4s fit on the inside of the frames. I took some measurements on Gregory. 29.5 inches was the length. So I hammered these 2x4s into position. And I think that straightened out the frame most of all, pressing things out. Still not perfect. That spot right there is bowing out, shouldn't be. So I need to work on that. This side here, you see how the bottom of it kind of flares out, so that needs to be fixed. What I could do is drop another 2x4 in there, drill a couple of holes, and run a screw into the 2x4. That would re-square that up. Well, a little bit I need to measure with here. Still need to get it level. As you see how the frame right here kind of slopes up, and it should be level all the way across until it hits that cross member. And even this, if I'm not mistaken, is supposed to be pretty level. So that still needs some work up through here. I'll probably put a floor jack right underneath there, lift it up, and that might just get it to where it needs to be. I'm gonna measure the angle of this here on Gregory also, and I'm gonna make the patch, replacement patch on Gregory, and then bring it over here and then line it up and weld it in, because I think that would then put it to where it needs to be. It's nice having another bus around. Looky, looky, look who came cruising up. It's Mr. Wild Bill himself.
Reporting for duty, sir.
That's it.
It's just got Snow's Volkswagen thing. I'm just finishing up some work on it.
Yeah?
Took the engine out, cleaned all the tin up, put it back in, fixed all the oil leaks that was there because they had several.
I love the tow bar macrame.
Yes. Well, it kind of looks like a vagina, but anyway.
I didn't think of that.
I didn't think of that.
No, I mean, for a change.
Once you look at that e-brake problem.
Oh yeah, that was, yeah, the Sawzall Paul.
Yeah.
That's what I'm calling it.
Check out this bone. Yeah, the Sawzall Paul.
Sawzall Paul. You guys will know what I'm saying as soon as you get a good look at it here. This is a surprise.
I got the rubber boot out of the way. I told him I didn't.
Oh, I love the floors.
I don't know if you're going to be able to see it.
Oh, I can see it.
Yeah.
Actually, you did better without the light.
Okay.
There you go. The yellow thing that you see down in there, look at that.
Oh, yeah, look at this champion welding job that previous owner put on there.
Yeah.
Scott didn't do that, but...
yeah, the little seesaw that I've been talking about, sometimes you have to extend them if you have the wrong cable on there.
Yeah.
You could just stack some nuts. You didn't have to weld
Well,
them.
that's what he did. In fact, he stacked a couple of nuts on there, so...
And he's still missing 2 nuts, though.
Right. So right now, the Sawzall is...
Sawzall Paul. Oh, I see what it's doing there.
It's slipping off the side of it there, so I'm not really sure what the fix is going to be on this. I know there's a little at the pawl. There's a little groove down there that it slides up on the tunnel,
right.
so that you can jack it up and get your.
That's exactly right.
So
the DeWalt bimetal blade that's in there, that yellow with this Phillips head screw.
Yeah, I fixed this gas gauge with.
I'm trying to see how it works.
If you pull it towards you,
because it actually does work, but it's shitty.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
maybe
really
that
shitty.
Sawzall blade is what's keeping it from working.
Now, the Sawzall blade's kind of bent; it's in the wrong position
Yeah,
anyway.
it should be back over this way some.
Yeah, I can see why this isn't proper. Yeah, this is goofy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it can be fixed.
Yeah,
can be fixed. We got to pull the seats out,
yeah,
pull the e-brake apart, and then I can weld them up.
Yeah. Build up the weld or whatever needs to be done. I told him that would be another project because I got to work on his double cab. His beautiful double cab. His clutch went out on that.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was at the show. We got a little video of that.
Yep.
And everybody was crawling around under there on my blanket.
I think the clutch is okay, but I think yeah. And then I got that. Oh, it's almost all healed now. I got that injury. But,
oh yeah, right. You sliced yourself open. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
It's on video.
Minor technicality. Go fix that frame.
Yes, sir.
I'll talk to y'all.
And if you get bored, we'll unbolt this body and put it on that frame because I need some.
Nope,
oh man.
Forgot about that.
No, we're not going to talk. We'll just, you know, ask him to accept what's happened.
Now you're wasting. I'll see you later.
Bye. All right, Wild Bill's going to do a wheelie for us. there's our wheelie. Yeah, that might have helped a little bit. Yeah, it improved it a little bit. Still all cockeyed right over here. Something I still need to straighten out, but it actually looks a little better. However, the axle beam did fold under a little bit in front. So even though we might have leveled it out some, what I need to do is start worming some welds onto this and lowering the jack up and down as I'm weaseling things into place. Once it settles the way it should be, then it'll probably be just fine. For those of you building wooden frames on houses, you know what I'm talking about when it comes to worming things into position to make them straight. And I think that's what we're going to be doing here too. Okay, well, off camera I used the angle grinder and put a relief cut right there. And why did I do that? Well, because now this is all planed off. I can put a level on here, and this is all flat, all the way across now. So over here, you remember that was kind of ski sloped, and no longer is that a problem. Now the front end is all out of whack, of course, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld that back into place, and then I'm going to put a relief cut here, because you see how this is all crinkled in? And then we're going to push the front end back down, then we're going to square it up once again. I think that will put the front end where it needs to be, because it kinked in two places. It looks like it kinked there and it kinked here. That's been straightened out now, just need to weld it in, and then we'll sort that one out next. Of course, you can see, look at the shock absorber. That just tells you how straight up and down the beam is not. So it's all under this way, and this is kind of the way it was when we were towing it. But in actuality, it went level across that. So yeah, that plane, well, that became a new plane. This is a lot more fun to weld. It's a thicker metal. Kind of an ugly weld, but I'm going to come back to that again. The fact of the matter is, it's strong. And I didn't set the blanket on fire under here, because I couldn't get the blanket out that I've been laying on because the jacket kind of rolled up on it. Doobie. Alright. Estimating right about here to be where we need our relief cut. Should be able to you know what? This is double-sided. I'm gonna have to relief cut the other side too. And of course the wire's gotta get caught on the damn tripod. Let's bring him back down. That looks good. The relief opened up like I wanted it to. Okay. There's the relief cut. See, we got a nice pie shape. That should bend us back to where we need it to be. Now let's just check to make sure this is still square. And it looks like we're in the ballpark. Right there is where we're going to angle. That's the angle I'm going to measure over on Gregory. And that's the piece that I'm started to cut that's going to go into that place. All right, down under here, I have a builder's square, which I'm squaring up to the beam. I put a level here on the bottom of the frame. And we're going to see just how level we are, and we're not. It actually has to come up a little bit. Right now the beam is raked under this way. It needs to come back out the bottom of it. Yep, not much, just a little bit. So in order to do that, we gotta raise up the frame some, right? Catch it up. Let's see if that did it. Actually, I think I might have made it worse. Yeah. think I did it wrong in my mind. I gotta lower the front. Let's try that. There we go. Wow, it's almost right on it. Yeah, it only needs to come down just a hair more. Hardly any. Hardly any at all. That might have actually been too much. Yes, let's see. Nope, we're perfect. Alright, that's where it needs to be. Take this little thing out. Okay. There is nothing holding this frame together anymore. Just a little band right through here. It's about 1.5 inches long. And this is the piece I'd like to graft into here. Good here. This angle might even be just about right. As I said, I'll check it against Gregory just to be sure, but it actually looks pretty good. I do need to do a little cutting down here for clearance just to see if this thing's going to even fit right. But we're in the ballpark. Alright, well, that's good news. Alright, I cut a piece out of the frame. Didn't need that anymore. This piece I matched it up against Gregory, and this is a really good match. Even on the first try, it just dropped right in against the frame of Gregory. So this is going to go in kind of like this. I need to make a mark up here where my cuts are going to be. And that should slot right into position. I'm going to have to cut some of this out too, but I'm not worried about the middle section at all until this is put in, because once this is in, the frame should get a lot more structure back again and should get stronger. Before this was just a mess. I can see in here where I need to cut, and I'll come around the inside and I'll bang it out, and then I'll weld it all together. Okay, well, before we get into any of that, let's go ahead and cut off this section of frame right through here. Where's my gogglies? Oh no, I don't have them. Yeah. You knew. Hard to believe that everything just kind of lined up on the first try. It is. All right. Okay, we got this piece going in here. It looks like it's a pretty good fit. Yeah, I know it overlaps there, but I'm going to cut that out last. I didn't want to take away more meat than I knew what I needed. Okay. Yeah, this is a good fit. Reasonably good anyway. Might need a little touch-up right in here, but yeah, that's gonna go. Alright, that's what we're putting in there. Get a couple of tacks started on this. I think we're gonna start right there. bending this under brings that corner out. That's what we'll do, just like that. Then get in the corner here. Good. Alright. Then this corner here, just push that right in just like that. There it is. That's that worming in I was talking about. Alright, we're good. Nice and flush the whole way around. And through here is where we need to make our cut and then bring this metal out. In here we're going to need a little bit of patching, but that's okay. We're actually in a really good spot right now. Let me get this level out of here so I don't burn it. Here we are, welded in on both left and right sides. The center, I'm about to run the angle grinder through there, so that way that piece that's tucked in behind the new piece that I just installed can be brought back out, and then I can weld along that. This corner is now a lot stronger than it was. I'm a lot happier with this and a lot less worried about it caving in here in the driveway, I'll tell you what. But there's still some more holes, and I started hitting it with a wire brush. I found the top of it up here is so badly fatigued that I'm going to have to cut a section of that out also. But it was important that I got the bottom in before I cut that out, because that's what was keeping, well, whatever shape this thing had left. So that needed to be fixed, and now it is. But yeah, that section in there, and in the top section here it's worn a little thin. There's some holes in it. You can even see the hole right there. So it still needs a lot of work. But anyway, we're going to cut through here. I'm going to weld this together, make this thing solid, and then we'll start looking at the top piece in there and start fixing that before we jump over to the other side and do the same thing. Yeah, I think we're straight and solid enough now. We can pull out that jack. Let's jack it off. Yeah. Now push down here. It should be strong. Ow! Not only is it strong, but it's hot. Yeah. Good. Good. I need to finish welding up this pocket through here. I might have to put a little piece of donor metal in it, so I might cut it just a little bit bigger. But I could technically fill that in, but anyway, yeah, I guess we're in a good spot. I like this chassis even more. It's looking so much more solid. Well, kids, would you look at that? Looks like it's good to go. There's a pinhole here and there's one there. I think I'll just come over with the welder and just pock one more time. Otherwise, this thing is ready to be coated with cat piss, and essentially this is now structurally strong again. Yeah, we still have a little bit of spots here and there we need to fix, and I still need to actually weld the underside. I haven't done that yet because I want to flip the frame up to do it. I just want the frame to be strong before I try to flip it up, before I end up twisting the thing into just worse than what it is. So this part I now trust again. This is now good and solid. We need to attack the other side, and I think that's something we're going to do tomorrow, because today it's getting dark. And it's Wild Bill's surprise birthday party. So we're headed out to Taco Tuesday and we're going to surprise the shit out of him. Sun's about to go down probably in the next, I think about 15 minutes. But that gives me enough time to spread a little cat piss on this sucker over here and get this thing coated up just in case it decides to rain. I don't think it's going to rain tonight, but we have this weather here this time of year where it's like a fog. There's a mist. It's just a mist just sprays everything. Everything just gets wet. And, well, I'd rather have this thing protected for whatever it's worth rather than flash rusting again. Even though a little cat piss would clean that up. But, yeah, we're in a good spot once again. This thing is in good shape. And structurally, I can jump up and down on it. And I'm going to demonstrate that. Alright, I need to weld up the other side to be just as strong, and then we'll probably have little to no flex. I think we're in good shape. Yes, sir. Well, to those of you that are new here that are curious as to what cat piss is, this is phosphoric acid. And this will coat up the metal and prevent it from rusting again. It will also convert rust to iron phosphate, which won't rust ever again. It takes something scratching it off in order for it to ever rust again. But you see how it foams up real nice? What it does is it creates a byproduct which evaporates, and that byproduct just happens to be water. That's right, it pulls the oxide out of the ferric oxide or rust. It produces a water compound instead. Meanwhile, the phosphorus stays on the iron and leaves you with that iron phosphate coating that doesn't rust. Okay, I think that's it. We're gonna call it. All right, there she is. And don't get it on your driveway, by the way. It'll leave a nice white spot. And if you leave enough of it on the driveway, it'll actually burn a hole through it. But as far as getting it on your hands, well, it's the same ingredient that's in Coca-Cola. I wouldn't go and drink it. It'd be really bad for your teeth. And you probably don't want it in your eyes because it's going to burn, but it wouldn't really do any damage unless you like poured it into your eyes. But anyway, yeah, that's why I didn't wear goggles, guys. Some of you whine about it, but no, it's really not that dangerous. Well, I'm much happier with this thing. Yeah, much, much happier. And I feel good leaving it this way overnight. That frame, it's hard to believe, but there wasn't much of anything except for just this little top piece of metal holding the front end to the rear end. And I don't know if I covered it anywhere in this video earlier, but the reason why I didn't just go buy a new donor piece is you can actually buy this section online is because it's $600. And I need one for here, I need one for there. So we're looking at $1,200. Oh sure, I could have just cut it right here, just welded it on and been done with it. But I don't want to spend $1,200 on this. It's gonna wind up I'm gonna wind up spending, you know, like money
that
I'm gonna wind up spending money like that anyway, and when it comes to, you know, building up the suspension and stuff on this to do what I'd like to do with this, well, if I come up with an actual plan. So I'm gonna save that money because I'm on a Duckman budget. And what a Duckman budget is let's go dig in the backyard for spare pieces of scrap metal off of something else that I cut up years ago, and let's see if we can apply them to this. And in this case, that was a piece of exercise equipment, something that Rob found on the side of the road. He says, hey, can you use any of this metal before I recycle it? So I took a whole bunch of the heavy box steel stuff, and well, now the bus has become part exercise equipment. There you go. All right, well, that's where we're at, so we're going to wrap this one up. Likey, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to pluck the dingle bell so you get updates every time I upload a video. Check out duckshit.net for all my different social media links. And we'll be back, hopefully, later on this week with another update on this video. And we're going to hack up that other side. Yes, sir. And we got to start patching some of the sections in here where this stuff is cracking. And there's some rust in here, so I'll probably cut a small section of this out. And then I have to repair deck lid Don's fuck up over here. Yeah, thanks, Don. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday to you! Happy birthday, Wild Bill! Happy birthday to you!
I did.
Scott told me there was Bill's sitting there.
I love Angela. She's gorgeous, but I'm trying to record Bill for his birthday. Oh no!
Who's showing up?
That's a happy birthday burger, even though it's not my birthday. Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Love it.
The biggest one you ever seen?
It is the biggest thing.
Oh my! Wait till you start rubbing it.
It's falling over.
It is starting to fall over.
Earthquake.
Air in the hole.
We don't need another part today because she went over to yes to notarize and then out.
Oh,
and she came
Fire!
just that.
Ow!
Yeah.
Looks like it's
Yeah.
Abe Lincoln.
You're so busy
No,
doing
the width
Right,
is
she's like,
wrong.
I was trying to.
Well, that's what happens when you're 74.
Parents sold their house in Kansas City.
Will you still need me? Will you still love me when I'm 70?
Your dad.
When my wig falls over.
I can't get my wig up.
what's in my car.
Hey, come on, Kansas City.
She's gonna burn herself with a lighter here.
Really is. And I told her this last time. This will be.
Oh man, you need an expert of fire.
I do.
She is an expert.
Fire?
Over to the city.
She's an Indian. She doesn't know about fire.
Hold the one over the other one.
I got a couple of sticks outside.
He was just there, what, last week?
Yeah, it's like you go over that bridge and it's like
Make him light his own candles. Oh man.
We gotta get it on the
You got a
way.
section, right?
yeah.
Over near signature.
Yeah, the 40 miles.
Hey!
And they have best smoked to
Oh, look at that! Wow!
That's why I went to it.
Well, that's why I opened it. But I think when I looked it up,
That one tried to go out. Oh!
Birthday to me.
Happy birthday!
we're singing.
Oh, you blew him out. We're gonna sing it again.
No, no.
Oh man, Bill! Oh, light him back up.
Hey, at least you only have to blow too.
Okay, that's right. I'll have to check it out next time.
You know, my dad always
I know I work the lighter. It is the
Bill, my dad always told me if you play that
There
record,
you go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Wild Bill, sir. Happy birthday to you.
All righty.
That's it. He's an expert at blowing.
Who's in this? Thank you. That's the nicest slider I've ever seen. I think it was gold plated.
There you go.
Okay.
Come on, suck that carrot.
What carrot?
What, you gonna take him home? Suck that 7.
I'm doing it 7 times.
Do it chop house style.
Well, you better because it's only 7. You're going to jail for that
Yeah, tied up. These are made in Canada.
one. Canada. Well, we know what I do when I'm in Canada.
Anything you can.
I mean, anyone.
Yeah, anyone you can.
Anyone.
Yeah. Well, thank everybody for all of this. It's great. Great surprise.
Did you really not know anything about this?
No.
That's awesome. Because I was afraid, like, where's the somebody would say something about it.
Declan Dawn.
Yeah.
No, everybody was new.
Hey, what time is your party tonight?
I created the event about a week ago. I just started friending people.
I know this morning I said, well, they sent out a reminder. He goes, I don't know. Oh, no, it was Jeremy goes,
I don't know.